Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Duster Bus. My name's Marcos. Wanted to talk briefly about resources for looking up and solving, car problems. So most of this is going to apply towards any classic car that you're working on. We're going to be talking specifically about more Chrysler stuff because that's the car I'm working on. But as I've been working on this a little over a year now, I started off not knowing much and not knowing where to go for stuff, and it was a bit of a challenge just trying to know where to go to look up different things. So I thought I would put together this quick list of the 6 resources that I think are must-haves for rebuilding a car. So some of these are pretty basic. The last one is, to me, kind of a hidden gem that I don't think too many people know about, and best of all, it's free. So make sure you stick around for that one. So let's go through it. Let me talk to you guys about where I recommend you go, what's been helpful for me in terms of resources. So number one, have you checked the manual? So the original manufacturer manual, so in the case of our Duster, we have the 1974 Chassis Service Manual. This is the Chrysler Plymouth book, and there's 2 components to this manual. This is the chassis manual, and then there's also a body service manual as well. So this is the book that basically the official service stations for these cars got this book, and this says how to work on the car, how to fix things, how to put things back together. This is a very extensive book. This has all kinds of details in it. It is specific to the year and the manufacturer. And what you're going to see here, you're going to see some exploded views. You're going to see some really detailed descriptions of how to do certain jobs. And this just has a ton of information. It has torque specs. It has engine specifications or specifications, critical specifications for any specific subsystem. This is really a must-have. The downside to it is that it is tedious. It's a little expensive too. So I ended up spending, I think it was about $100 in order to get the set of these 2 books. You might be able to find a used copy or a paper copy somewhere. I ended up just springing for it, and I think I found it off of Amazon, but Year One has these as well. So this is a must-have. What's up, Sammy? All right, you gotta be quiet. All right, so to me, this is really a must-have. This is kind of the first place to go look for stuff. Unfortunately, it does not have all the details on the parts. It doesn't have part numbers. It doesn't have a lot of things, but it does have a whole lot to get you started. So definitely a good starting point. That's number 1, must-have item. Number 2, other books. Again, books they're vetted pretty thoroughly, right? So these go through revisions of, reviews before they get published. You can find a lot of very accurate information from books. In my case, the Haynes manuals are really a good one to have. In my case, a specific book like this small block Mopar book, I think those are also very good sources of information. Those are going to depend upon what kind of car that you're working on. Number 3 is clubs. So I am a proud member of the Tri-State Mopar Club, and when you join a club or something like that, you're going to be around people that know about that type of car or that that genre of vehicle, and there's plenty of benefits to that. You may have somebody in the club that has the same part or the same car as you're working on, so you may be able to go over and look at theirs and see how something is put together, and then it makes it a lot easier to work on what you're doing. Or it could just be the knowledge base that they have. Also, I think there's a lot of benefit from just being around other car people or other people doing the same stuff as you, you're gonna hear stuff just in the conversation that maybe you're not even thinking about something else, but hearing some conversation gets you thinking about other stuff that you haven't thought of or done yet, and can just trigger new thoughts. So definitely good. Plus, if you make friends with some of those folks, they might even come help you out with some stuff. So coming out of COVID, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but definitely good to join a local club. All right, number 4 is super powerful, but I got mixed feelings about it. So you have forums, and you have Facebook groups, Reddit groups. You have these groups where there's a lot of people, a lot of knowledge, a lot of expertise. I found out about so specific to the Plymouth Duster, there's a group on Facebook that has like 20-some thousand people on it, and you can ask a question, and there's some really great people on there that will be very kind and very explaining of all kinds of stuff. People post the stuff that they're doing, that'll give you some design ideas along with, helping answer technical questions. What are the biggest tires I can fit on this car? So there's a lot of power in those types of groups. Unfortunately, you also run into some jerks, and that kind of brings a little bit of a negative to it. I know for me, there's so many things that I don't know, and sometimes you're afraid to ask a stupid question, and there are some people who are like, they'll jump on you for asking what they think is a stupid question. I hate that about these groups, so don't be one of those guys. And but the positive stuff on there, the helpful people, the people that will take the time to explain stuff, far exceeds the negative. So that is also super awesome. All right, number 5, YouTube. So obviously I'm a fan of YouTube, but a couple great things about YouTube. There are chances are you may be able to find somebody doing exactly what you're doing, and you may be able to see what they're doing, see the parts, see how something's oriented. There's some great channels out there that work on all different kinds of cars, and I'm always finding new small channels out there that just put out some great information. So definitely continue to look through YouTube stuff. All right, so number 6, and this is the one that I said a lot of people don't know. I've talked to some very knowledgeable people out there that weren't aware of this one, and this is the parts list. So this helps close the gap on some of the issues that we had, some of the shortcomings of the Chrysler manuals. And I gotta give credit of this one to Mopar Nut 62. He also has a channel, please go check that out. But Mopar Nut pointed me in the direction of this. He showed me how to get this file, and let me show you that real quick. There's a website that is mymopar.com, and what you're going to want to do is you go to resource library here. This is all free. Go into resource. I gotta click a little more. All right, then let's go down, parts manuals. So there's some service manuals. There's other stuff. I haven't dug in here as much as I need to, but let's go up. Looks like you got all the wiring diagrams there, but parts manual. So we go into that, you go by year, you find what you want. So for me, it's the 74 Mopar parts book, and you can download that, and that is going to give you this little PDF file here. I didn't mention it earlier, but also with PDF files, one of the great things is you can Control F, and you can look for exactly what you want to find. So let's say we're looking for wiper motor. We can do a quick search, and boom. So that'll take us right to the wiper section. All right, so what the parts list is going to do, it's going to give you better exploded views of what you're working on. So it's going to give you a little bit better image of how everything's being put together, and then you're going to be able to get part numbers off of it. So let's say in this assembly, if you were looking to replace that belt, number 17 on here, you go down, I find 17 belt. So this is a part number 7-03-1, and if you go searching for that you're going to be able to find the right specification for what you need. All right. So that's it. That's the list of resources that I found to be super useful as I'm kind of learning what I'm doing here. Hopefully that's useful to you as well. If you find that useful, sorry about the background noise, neighbors working on stuff. So if you find this useful, give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. We're going to talk more about the engine buildup for this Duster next week. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit the bell so you get notified. That's it, folks. Take care. We'll see y'all next week.